All righty, boys and girls, welcome aboard for State of the Atmosphere. We got a lot to get to tonight. Let's see what we got to talk about. First of all, Tom Brady retires. Is he actually retired? Yeah, I think he is, but we'll discuss it. Hang on, I just heard the echo of my own thing here. How am I hearing? Oh, I see what it is. I'm on two channels over here. I am over here messing up, guys, but we got Tom Brady to talk about. Then we got James Gunn. James Gunn made an announcement yesterday about the upcoming slate of DC property movies and shows. We'll discuss that and what it means for the future of your favorite DC heroes. And because I got in my Facebook feed yesterday an announcement that Marc Singer, one of my favorite and most underrated actors, in my opinion, turned 75 yesterday. And we're going to take a look at one of his best properties ever, one of my favorite shows ever, V. So sit back, relax, and get ready because we're about to check out the state of the atmosphere. All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere, and I am joined tonight by a couple of good friends of mine. First of all, from Pop Culture Minefield, Das Wolfen is with us. What's going on, John?
Greetings. Not a lot. Just enjoying some news.
Some news? Yeah. Probably our first story, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Not only is he happy about his Chiefs going to the Super Bowl for the third time in the last 5 years, but his nemesis is gone. And also to join us to talk about that is the best backup quarterback on YouTube, Matt from Small Time Republic. What's going on, man? You are muted. Don't mute yourself. Don't do that.
I did it.
There you go. There you go.
Starting off with a boomer move there, but glad to be on here, and old Brady.
Yeah. That's going to be our first subject tonight. Tom Brady hanging him up after 23 years in the NFL. What the hell, man? First of all, is he for real this time? He did this last year.
I don't know. That's why I'm waiting until the season starts to find out if he's not going to sign up someplace at the last second.
Right. Well, me personally, I think he's done. We'll take a look.
He's done.
Yeah, I think he's done.
I think he would have been better served by riding off into the sunset 2 years ago.
Yeah. But, get a Super Bowl. Prove you can do it with another team. You did it.
Yeah.
Soon as he got that trophy in his hands, just said, "Thanks, Bucks. I'm out."
But he wanted every possible record. Yeah. Like most touchdowns on a Tuesday afternoon, after 4 p.m. or whatever records he wanted to go for.
Right. It's crazy. Now, there is, let's see. I saw this article earlier, and let's see. It says Tom went through a public divorce with supermodel Giselle Bundchen. It says that this is about the real reason why he retired, and it chronicles some of that stuff. But I heard this on ESPN earlier today, and I saw the article, and I wanted to talk about it. This guy says, just talking to people this morning, many of which are very close to Tom, I would choose one word: exhausted. He's tired. ESPN reporter Jeff Darlington said on First Take. I think it's not just about 23-year career, which obviously deservedly so. He's 45 years old. It's time to rest up. So that was one thing that I had heard earlier today, and he looks tired. I mean, we talked about it during our pregame party show this year, how gaunt he looked at the beginning of the season. You know, he does look tired, dude. Really does. Let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say. He released it on Twitter. I got to remember to unmute everything because I am sharing the sound, so you should be able to hear this. Let me know if you can hear it.
Yep.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. You only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
So yeah, that was it. And you heard it in his voice. He was starting to crack there. That's why he quit the video. Yeah, I think he's done. Myself. And Knock, welcome aboard. I figured you might be on, knowing we're talking about Brady here.
He has 45 days before the start of camp or the season to decide. So he's got all summer. He can rethink it.
Yeah. The word is he's told the Bucks he's done, though. He's told them. He told them 2 hours before he made that video, apparently.
Yep.
So I hope he is, me personally, because I mean, guys, just, you know, what has the dude got to prove? Really, what has he got to prove? I mean, look at these numbers, dude. 23-year career, 7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP. Nobody's ever going to do that. What the? 5-time Super Bowl MVP? That's crazy. 3-time league MVP. 89,214 regular season passing yards. Of course, all of these that we're reading here are first in the record books. 649 regular season TDs. 13,400 playoff passing yards. 88 playoff touchdowns. And of course, he's got more rings than anybody that's ever played. It's
so far.
It's so far.
And every franchise.
Yeah, right? I mean, he's got
he got the one with the Bucks, so he could say he had more than them. So, you know.
Right? Yeah.
Or than the Patriots, you know.
It's insane. And this graphic that Rich Eisen put this up. I just want you guys to take a look at this. That's by decade of his life. His 20s, his 30s, and his 40s. I mean, just look at the 30s. That's 13th all time. The 40,000. That's 13th all time. That's there. Just what he did in his 30s.
That's nuts.
And he's going out. He threw more passes than anybody in the league last year. I mean, it's
well, the last 3 years he has thrown a lot of balls.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
He's thrown a lot because, they didn't have a running game. They didn't have a running game with the shit there. And you would think that they would try and get him that, you know? Let's see what they're saying in the chat. Lord South says, hi, everyone. Don't let the door hit you. in the butt on the way out. Oh yeah, he's talking about Brady. Yeah, everybody's happy he's going. I'm happy too. I'm a Brady fan. I should have worn it today, but I've got his Super Bowl 38 jersey. It's a home jersey, it's a Navy jersey, and yeah, man, I've been a fan my whole. And when he played for the Buccaneers in that Super Bowl, I rooted for him. You know, although I do have to tell you, John, in that Super Bowl, that is the most gutsy play I've ever seen Patrick Mahomes play. Was down the stretch in that Super Bowl. He was playing his ass off trying to pull that team to a win. I was impressed with that shit. I really was.
And if there's one quarterback that can,
if there's one, they were Rich Eisen and them were talking about it today, and they said there's only one quarterback that could that even has a crack at this guy's numbers, and it's probably Mahomes. They said Joe Burrow maybe, but he's just getting started. Who knows? You know, but
yeah, remember he's just turned 28.
Yeah, no.
So he hasn't even hit his 30s yet. So
true, but here's another thing that a lot of people. I mean, it's going to be talked about because nobody's ever done this. I mean, there were guys that played for a long time. I mean, Otto Graham played into his 40s, but he didn't put these kinds of numbers up. Yeah. You know, he wasn't doing that kind of play. You know, and that's that. If this guy did anything better than anybody's ever done it, it's take care of himself. First of all, with his play style, he never hung onto the ball very long at all. I think that really extended his career more than anything. And his health regimen. I mean, the guy, he's retiring, but he could start for half the teams in the league right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me. And before we start a discussion, I wanted to go back and show this because I really, first of all, I know I've told you guys, I root for the Seattle Seahawks, right? But my brother and I both root for the New England Patriots because that's our father's team. He's from Boston, okay? We don't want to get disowned. So, you know, we were brought up Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, Patriots fans, right? And really in the other sports, I root for the Boston team. That's my main team in all the other sports, but I don't follow them like I do football. But I'm telling you, man, this Super Bowl right here, the first one he ever won, it's the sweetest one still to this day to me because he did what nobody else could do for the Patriots. It was their third Super Bowl appearance, and they had gotten blasted in '85 by the best defense, arguably, that ever played in a Super Bowl, the '85 Bears.
The Bears.
I mean, as far as Super Bowl performances by a defense, you'd have to put the top three to me are the '85 Bears, the Seattle Seahawks when we played Denver. Okay, that blowout. Okay, and Ray Lewis's team.
Yeah, the 2000 Ravens.
Okay, the Ravens. Those are the three that stand out in my mind as the greatest defenses. But man, this right here was something else. It really was. I'm going to put this on the screen and let her play. Hopefully I won't get hit by it, but we'll talk over it. And I just want you guys to take notice here. This was John Madden's last Super Bowl he was calling, okay? And let's hear what he thought of what the Patriots were doing during that last drive. Man, look how young Belichick was, huh?
We can't see it.
I would love to see it.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Guys, this is amazing.
Let me start it back.
Chad, do you see how amazing this is?
Do you see how amazing this is?
Yeah. They say the theater of the mind is the best.
It's something else. Yeah. It's sad.
I'm here to say, new FanDuel customers.
This one doesn't have what he said. Yeah, they had him second guessing themselves, man. Second guessing Madden, who had called how many games and been a coach for how long, and oh man, just amazing. But that night I'll never forget because my mom was here, my brother was here, and he was drunk as a skunk, and he was out in the yard talking to my father on the phone, yelling and screaming, and my mom told me to go get him before the cops got called.
Nice. not to be that guy, but there should have been a second or two left on the clock.
There should have been a second or two, but they just let it play out.
Yeah.
Sometimes things like that happen. Lord Toth says, Lady Toth and I watched every Super Bowl now that most of my veteran friends are gone or transferred. She wants a Brady-less Super Bowl. Well, you're going to have that this year. No doubt. We got the Eagles and we got John's beloved Kansas City Chiefs for the third time. Man, your team is dominating this
even on one leg.
Yeah, even on one leg. Yeah, no doubt.
And with no receiving core because everybody got hurt.
Oh my God, you're decimated. You got to get some of those guys healed up. You got a couple weeks. Yeah,
Kansas has to be thinking their defense right now.
No doubt.
Oh yeah,
they played well above what I expected.
Holding Joe Burrow to no yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, pretty good.
Eagles
go, Lord Thoth says. But Brady being I'm a big fan, always will be, because what he did for the Patriots. And it was funny, unless you're a Patriots fan, everybody hates Brady, right? It's just like they hated Joe Montana when he was winning it every year, and
I love Joe Montana.
They hated Terry Bradshaw, unless you were a fan of that team. They hated those guys, right? And I would, when people would give me shit about it, I'd just look at them and go, hey, man, I watched this team when they were wearing red jerseys and got their ass kicked every weekend. So they've had this coming for a long time. So, I enjoyed every minute of it. But for some reason, Tom Brady's nemesis was the NFC East. He couldn't get past them fools, man. Eli got him twice, and the Eagles got him too.
Yeah.
Every time he faced the NFC East, he couldn't
Broncos
do it.
got him a few times in the playoffs too.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the Super Bowl, but yes, definitely the Broncos and the Colts were their two main nemesis. Well, them and the Ravens. I'd say the Ravens in the later part there. But great career, man. I don't think we're going to see his equal. Not in my lifetime. I don't think we will.
By the way, the Ravens, the Ravens have a quarterback, Tyler Huntley, who with 2 touchdowns made the Pro Bowl. Just wanted to.
What?
That's because everybody was either in the Super Bowl or
hurt,
opted out.
Yeah, Josh Allen didn't want to go, and Burrow didn't want to go.
What?
Josh Allen and Burrow are sulking.
Josh Allen and Burrow aren't going to go play flag football. I just don't understand.
Or the passing, or the dodgeball, or the.
Okay, since
I heard the event's going on. They actually start tomorrow.
I've heard that they will. They're going to do an event where an official is thinking of a number between 1 and 10, and whoever thinks of the number wins that round. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It makes no damn sense, man. No damn sense. They need to go back to having it in Hawaii. That was the whole thing. People wanted to go to the Pro Bowl because they got a chance to go to Hawaii.
And I think the Aloha Stadium is not up to spec right now. I know that the college team, they play at like a smaller on-campus stadium now. I think there's some
really the Warriors don't play there right now because that used to be their home stadium.
Honestly, I think the thing that really killed it was moving it to before the Super Bowl. Because all the actual best players you'd want to see there, or the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so they were never going to go. At least after the Super Bowl, they actually went.
I used to watch it when I used to watch it when it was.
I always hated
like you said after the Super Bowl because they went. They wanted to go to Disneyland and Hawaii and have a good time, But God, where are they having it now? Vegas this year?
I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, right now in my area, 15 minutes from where I am, they're having the Senior Bowl week down here. So there's all kind of NFL executives and various coaching staffs and stuff, doing networking and that kind of thing.
All the scouts and the GMs are down there.
Yep.
Let's see. E. Clay Thomas says, does anyone still watch the Pro Bowl? I think it should be retired.
Well,
David Burrows says, what's a Super Bowl? I'm a Dallas fan. I've forgotten.
Well, there's
They
no,
should just have a Madden tournament for the Pro Bowl.
I don't know. I like the competition stuff. I'm probably gonna take a look at it and see
You're
how
going
it
to
is.
check that out. Well,
Yeah, I like the
flag football. I
competition
don't need to
game.
watch. I don't need to watch flag football.
No, that's the very last thing on Sunday. Like tomorrow, I know there's dodgeball. They have one where they have like the punters, or not punters, but the kickers, tic-tac-toe.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
That
so
might
they
be
put the ball in
interesting to
a
watch.
certain place.
yeah, so they got it. Yeah, they got the goalposts, and then they have the lines, and they have to kick it.
Wow.
It's a kickers tic-tac-toe. So they have different games like that. They have one where there's like a watering catch a water balloon competition or something like that. They have different kinds of little activities that they're doing, and then some of the skills stuff like the passing precision and the wider best catch. They have to dive for the ball and catch it the best or whatever. And
well, the skills thing's cool, and I don't mind it being a week-long thing with some skills stuff, but man, give me a football game.
it's just Thursday and Sunday. There's nothing even going on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. Next time I turn on the NFL, it'll be for Media Day, Tuesday. 6 days from now? Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
6 days from now.
So Brady, of course, had to do his big bombshell today, which covered up the other big news.
The other big news, which is big news to you, my friend.
It's very good news to me.
Yep.
Which may affect John.
Which is very good for certain reasons. It was really great, for our team.
Of course, what he's talking
Sean
about
Payton.
is Sean Payton. Yes.
Sean Payton's coming to Denver.
Yeah.
And it's
now, what's the compensation? What do you got to give up for him?
first round pick that we had gotten from the Dolphins, the 30th pick in the draft, and then a second round pick for next year, and we get Sean Payton and a third round pick from them from 2024.
Okay. That's worth it. The guy can coach him up, and he knows what to do with Russell Wilson. No doubt about it.
And as one of the teams that have recently won a Super Bowl, I have to say, fuck those picks. It's just,
Yeah. I
don't
mean,
need them. No, our team is pretty well built, I think, already. So I'm not saying we can't use more players or anything. We never have enough. But
right.
like we had talked about it during preseason, our preseason show or post, whatever we call pregame show. I'm sorry. That it depended on what situation you wanted to go in. But then DeMeco Ryans ended up going to the Texans. The Broncos did drive hard to try to get him as well. They had talked with Jim Harbaugh as latest as last Saturday, trying to get him. So
wait a minute, DeMeco Ryans is already with a team.
At the same time that Sean Payton got picked up, it broke news as well that DeMeco Ryans is the head coach for a 6-year contract with the Texans.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
I get the impression that the moment Peyton told the Texans no is when the DeMeco Ryans
Ryans said no to the Broncos. Because apparently it's kind of hard. It kind of depends on who you believe. I heard that there was like between Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, there was like conflicting reports.
Really?
So Ian was like, "Oh, they went after DeMeco Ryans," and Schefter.
So how
was
about
like,
those
no,
Red Sox? I don't know.
I
don't know shit about. Well, they're not even playing right now.
Baseball.
Dude. Baseball.
This is football right now.
Right. Well, DeMeco Ryans, Texans. Who's the GM?
I don't know.
Do we know?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
Hopefully not the same guy that traded DeAndre Hopkins.
That was the thing. Did apparently Sean Payton didn't want to do a rebuilding project. He wants to jump on something he thinks he can win with right now. I don't know if I'd want to go into the same. I don't know if I want to go in the same division as a team that's been to the AFC Championship 5 times in a row. I don't know if I want to do that, but
and I did see a report as well. I don't know if there's any validity to it, but there was a report that he might try to coax Vic Fangio into coming over.
Really?
Yeah. Even though he was already coached there, but as long as I guess they're hoping maybe he didn't burn enough bridges on the way out when they thought, I don't know. So I don't know if
told me he got picked up as somebody.
He's with the Dolphins right now, so they're talking between him and the Dolphins. He's the Dolphins coordinator right now, and he's the highest paid coordinator in the league right now. So.
Wow. David says, let's talk about missing extra points. Point attempts.
Don't be too hard on him, David. It was 4.
It was only 4.
Well, I think it was maybe 5 out of 6 if you count the one in the next
If
game.
you count the field goal he
That was
missed.
blocked. Come on.
Yeah.
It would have missed anyway. Did you see that?
Could have.
It would have.
would-
He hooked the shit out of that ball.
Yeah, it was going left.
Is Sean bringing his bounty system with him?
No.
Probably.
What's his name? Greg Williams isn't coming.
Greg Williams is not going to be there.
He's
so,
not going to be there. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Got to run, boys. Can't wait for the Super Bowl. Yeah. Don't forget to
another
watch
week.
us that morning at 10 o'clock in the morning Central
By
Time.
the way,
We're gonna
Lord
have a show
Thoth,
then.
as well, XFL starts the week after.
There you go.
More football.
XFL. The Rock. The Dwayne. The Rock
I'm waiting for
Johnson.
USFL.
That's another month and a half. So
Yeah, I know.
like 2 months. So I need some football on the way.
Yeah, but I've seen
I'm
the
gonna football
XFL
hangover.
once. It didn't go over.
What
so
kind of
well.
crazy shit
It
are
got
they going
killed
to
by. It was actually pretty decent, but it got killed by COVID. So
Well, some of the stuff that's in the NFL today, you can thank the XFL for. The Sky
like
Cam.
the Sky Cam, yeah.
for one thing.
that's one of the things that I'm. That's why I like watching. I've said it before on our shows that that's why I like watching some of these other leagues.
Yeah.
One of the biggest, one of the biggest ones, probably the one rule that I wish would happen, is the 4th and 15 instead of an onside kick.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the one rule that I pray for to the football gods every day,
Mhm.
to bring that to the NFL, because I think when you have and the XFL has that rule and the USFL has that rule too.
Yeah.
I want to see more of it. I'm hoping that they actually use it. In the XFL, it's only limited to the 4th quarter. But if you have a good quarter, you have Mahomes on 4th and 15. Would you rather do Mahomes or your kicker trying to do an onside kick, trying to come back in a game? So,
I'm rolling with Mahomes.
right, exactly. So
I'm rolling with my homies.
all they have to do is just have Mahomes and Kelsey up the middle. Kelsey up the middle, it just happens. It's just
Or they could try the Dallas
death and
Cowboys play.
taxes.
The hook and lateral.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That just
We
was a
did try
hook.
that.
They got the
It didn't
hook.
work.
No lateral, but they got the hook.
Listen,
We
that play
tried
may
it,
have,
but it got dropped.
that play may have gotten Kellen Moore fired, but he got picked up that same day by the
Oh my
Chargers.
God, yeah. And you know what's funny? Where did he go, Knock? I forgot.
He went to the Chargers.
He's with the Chargers. Oh,
Yep,
God.
Same day. He got fired, and then like a
So
couple
he
hours
went
later,
from
picked up the
working
Chargers.
for an idiot owner to working for an idiot coach. Great. Well,
Yeah.
I'm happy for Herbert because I like Herbert a lot. But man, with that head coach, good Lord. But Kellen Moore's he's a good coordinator. You can't blame him for the player throwing picks. You can't blame him for that.
Joe, I thought of you a couple weeks ago where they interviewed the Chargers coach, and he said, "No, at no point have I felt like my job was not secure." I'm like, well, keep saying that.
Right?
Saying that. Eventually, the odds are it will not be secure.
That's it, man.
During the Eagles game, Nick Sirianni was very aggressive, and he went for it multiple times on 4th down.
Yes,
And every time he did, I was like, "Hey, Fry, how you like this play?"
yeah, he
Fry.
was texting me. I was
Hey,
like,
Fry, how you liking this play?
there
Hey,
was a couple I didn't
mind.
mind, but
They
that
went for it on their own side
when
of the
he was
field.
sitting there trying to draw him off to get closer to go for 2 when they were up by 3 touchdowns, I was like, why is this guy doing this? What is this? It
This seems like Nick Sirianni is so perfect for that team.
I just imagine like if
Yeah.
Joe was the opposing head coach, just standing on the side, other sideline, being like, "What is that? What are you doing?"
What is this?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Right? Oh man, that was a hard game to watch, guys, and I'll tell you why. They ran out of quarterbacks. All they could do was hand the ball off.
Yeah,
I
it was
felt
such a
so
shame.
bad for the 49ers, man. They just couldn't do anything. It's just wow.
If Garoppolo had made it back in time, who knows what would have happened?
That tells you how good their coach is. But he's still his biggest nemesis, man, is why can't this guy figure out how to use timeouts in a 2-minute situation? He cannot do it to save his life. He needs a friggin' quality assurance coach or something. Good Lord. Let's see, David.
time
What is
management.
David saying? We going to talk about the
worked in
Royal
Denver.
Rumble at all, or is this one all pro sports? If you watched it from the beginning, we are talking football because of Tom Brady. We're going to talk we're even going to talk science fiction, which I know you love, David. So just hang on. We're getting around to it. He says the Cowboys way. We mean joking. Yeah. You mean joking. Watching Dallas, I feel like the coach in The Water Boy when Adam Sandler first meets him. Oh, God.
That's some high quality H2O.
Right? That's some high quality H2O.
Yeah. My mama said.
To sum up Tom Brady, Rich Eisen said a pretty cool thing. He said, before Tom, it was always, who's the GOAT, Jerry Rice or Jim Brown? Which
Right.
one is it? Both of them considered the greatest player ever. And now, I mean, he's the Michael Jordan of football, man. That the guy, the proof's in the numbers. I just showed them to you. It's crazy, the stuff that guy was able to do, because he took care of his body, and he took care of his body, both in health wise, his regimen of taking care of himself, and took care of himself through his play. Got rid of that ball faster than most quarterbacks ever would. And so I'm happy for him. I'm looking forward to his next career as an announcer. See how good he's going to be at that. Hopefully he doesn't go the way of what's that tight end's name for Dallas that went and did it, and he just sucked that first year so bad he went back to the
Greg
college.
Olsen?
No,
Witten.
Yeah.
Oh, Witten. Jason Witten.
Witten.
Yeah.
Jason Witten. That's
Witten
it.
was rough.
Hopefully he's better at it than that. I think he will be.
I wonder what
Hopefully
network
better
he'll be
than
with.
Romo.
Fox.
Yeah. Well, Romo's good. I like Romo.
People just seem to hate Romo. I enjoy him.
I enjoy
There
him.
was one. I will never forget his commentating of a cat running on the field.
Yeah.
Was probably the funniest thing I'll ever see.
Romo.
I don't know if he was actually going to do it, but it sounds like he almost drops the N-word during the.
I saw the article on that, but
What?
I saw the
Niners?
video. I'm like, maybe.
sorry, David. I'm going to have to disagree with you on
Yeah,
that.
they don't
49ers
suck.
do not suck.
They
lost
succumbed
the
to injuries at one position.
Yeah.
Is what they did. They don't suck.
They had
They're
an
a damn
excuse
good
to
football
lose.
team. He says right on, and he also says not a Tom Brady fan, but I'll give him his props. You got to. The guy played for 23 years, and that doesn't happen very often.
Brock Purdy finally succumbed to the rule of the 49ers, and that if you are a skill position player, you will get hurt.
You will get hurt eventually, because we're a smash mouth football team. We'll beat everybody else up and ourselves.
Yep.
So, yeah. So final thoughts on Tom Brady. I know, John, you're happy to see him gone, I'm sure. But what do you think of
Happy
him?
to see him leave, but he did do. He is a generational talent.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I think he's the best.
And he
ever in
has
football.
golden balls, according to Ted.
What is it?
He has golden balls.
Golden balls, according to Ted.
Ted.
I haven't seen
Ted.
that movie in a while.
Yeah,
Did he
Ted.
say that in the
Ted.
movie?
Okay.
Yeah, the movie Ted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say this: Romo, I can handle him in small doses, but when he starts going, Jim, all the receivers are hurt, Jim. Yeah. Like when he starts doing all that kind of stuff, it's like just
He doesn't
move on.
He doesn't
I think
realize.
he's drinking during broadcasts, because
he's got to be.
I was telling my wife, I said, somebody get Romo a beer. He needs to shut up. Because he does get dumb eventually.
I just like it when he calls those plays perfectly. He
does that a lot. One thing we found out watching him announce a game, the guy is football IQ smart. He is very smart guy. He can tell what they're doing on the field. That's pretty cool.
So trying to figure out what Mahomes is doing.
Right. Nobody can figure out what that guy's doing. He's playing at the beat of his own drum.
It's one of the reasons why I like watching the Peyton and Eli show until the guests come on. Once they come on, I just get annoyed. But because Peyton really gets into the game, and he's really talking with Eli about it, and then they bring guests on, then it just gets all awkward.
I haven't watched it too much. Do they ever have any guests on where it's just like blatantly that they're trying to promote something for like an ABC property or anything like that?
WNBA stars.
I got you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So people that don't really watch football normally.
they're just like sports, but nobody's ever gonna watch them.
You play a
You
sport.
mean that's still on the air?
Peyton and Eli, that thing is huge.
No. I'm talking about Peyton. I'm talking about the WNBA.
Oh,
exactly
no, yeah. They operated a loss, but they still exist. Yeah, they still exist.
Now, those players are valuable. Each one of them is, some of them are worth more than a Russian arms dealer. So just
yeah,
keep that
we
in mind.
found that out,
Their value
didn't
is
we?
through the
Yeah,
roof.
yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so happy trails, Tom Brady. We look forward to seeing you in the booth, and thanks for the memories, man. We really got to, even in the losses, we got to see some great stuff. Those 2 Super Bowls against Eli were awesome. Hell, the Panthers Super Bowl was awesome. I don't know if you remember that Super Bowl, but they couldn't score against each other for like a quarter and a half, and then all of a sudden the floodgates opened right before the half, and it was on like Donkey Kong.
I just think I don't think you can ever get a scenario where a guy is. I don't think there'll ever be a scenario again where a guy gets suspended for the first 4 games of a game, comes back and wins a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
and let's face
crazy.
it, he got suspended over that was BS.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, at least.
He said, E. Clay Thomas says, I can't stand the Mannings, all of them. Yeah, well,
I don't know. I kind of like Peyton, even though
I live in the state they're from, man, and that's all people talk. Dude, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this.
Manning got me a Super Bowl, so you know.
Let me tell you, he got you last Super Bowl, didn't he? Look, speaking of a Manning Super Bowl, when we finally won it, I was at a party at a house, and it was the crew of Centaur. Mardi Gras is going on right now. It's all about the cruise and stuff. And right around this time of year, sometimes parades are on Super Bowl Sunday, And we had, I was over to a friend's house. He had riverfront property. It's $1 million house, man. But we went to it, and they were giving out the royal court's jewelry at halftime of the game, right? And it was a cold day, but they had one of these carports with a fireplace, TV over it, and it was one of these things where they could drop down screens where the place stayed heated. Well, my daughter, myself, and my wife are all in Seahawks jerseys. Everybody else in there had Broncos shit on because I'm telling you, the Mannings are. Matt can tell you, he's from down here. Manning's probably big where you're at too, because Archie Manning was the coach. He was the quarterback of the Saints and languished on a bad football team, but he was an awesome quarterback. And
although there are a lot of Alabama fans in my area that don't care for Peyton because I think he beat them 4 years in a row.
Yeah. His history with the Volunteers, of course, but I mean, being so close to New Orleans, Archie is a big name down there. I know, but anyway. By halftime, it was already on like Donkey Kong by halftime of that game. And then when what's his nuts freaking ran back that friggin' kickoff on the second to start the second half, they all slowly started coming outside because they knew I was about to start celebrating.
Speaking of like kickoff,
I blacked out during the rest of that game, so I don't know what really happened.
Speaking of kickoff returns, when we were talking about the Patriots Super Bowls earlier, about how they lost the first couple, it made me think about Desmond Howard. I think he had was it a kickoff and a punt return? I believe he had against.
He was the MVP of that Super Bowl against the Patriots. Thank you for bringing that up, you asshat.
Anytime.
The thing I remember about that Super Bowl, Drew Bledsoe had opened the second half with an 8-minute drive that got us within 3 points, and that cocksucker returned the kick off for a touchdown and wiped it out that quick, and he was doing the robot into the fucking end zone at the end of it. Oh, yeah, he was I think he was the first special teamer to be named MVP of the Super Bowl. He had returns of like 65, 80, and of course he had the one for the touchdown on the kick return in the second half that it broke their back. The very next drive, Reggie White sacked Bledsoe 3 times in a row for a quick 3-and-out. It was ridiculous. It just demoralized the Patriots, man. They were done after that. But yeah, Desmond Howard did that to us. Yep, for sure. Okay, enough about football. You guys want to hear some more football? We'll talk about it next week when we do pregame party at 10 a.m. Central before the Super Bowl. But our next subject tonight, boys and girls, is the announcement of the upcoming slate of films from the DC Warner Brothers machine. This is a fan-made thing that I found. Midnight Edge was showing it earlier today on their podcast, and it's got the lineup. Of course, what you see here, and this is a fan-made thing. It's not an official one by DC, but up top you see there Shazam: Fear of the Gods, the Flash movie, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman, and then they're going to reset it, and they're calling Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters. And Knock, you might remember that name because it was the name of a DLC, I think, in DCUO. It was the one where we fight Zeus and all that stuff. But this is the slate. You got Creature Commandos. That's going to be an animated show. Waller is going to be a live action series. Paradise Lost. That sounds like it's going to be a Wonder Woman reboot.
Yeah.
It's a live action series. Batman Brave and the Bold is going to be a movie. Superman Legacy. That's supposed to be in July of 2025, I think.
Yep. July 11th.
Your boy Booster Gold's getting a movie, apparently. There, Big Daddy. Or actually, no, that's a series. It's a
that's a series. He's getting a series.
Yeah. Another live action series everybody's been waiting on is Lanterns.
Yep.
One I'm looking forward to. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. That's going to be a movie. And then the Authority is a movie, and Swamp Thing is a movie. But they're going to keep doing the independent stories like Joker and Batman. They're calling it DC Elseworlds. In other words, it's kind of like the multiverse kind of thing. It's a different different story in a different place kind of thing.
Sort of like Marvel has,
exactly
the Spider Man and Spider-Man villain section of movies.
That's it. So that's what they announced yesterday, I believe, right, John? Let me see. I've got an article on it here, and I just want to highlight some of this stuff. So, and I'm sure John knows a lot of this, but I'm not as up on DC properties as I am Marvel. But let's take a look here. New Batman and more. Our analysis of James Gunn and DC's lineup. Now, this is per the Washington Post. And I use this one because they've got a nice little sidebar here where you can jump to each one. The first one is Brave and the Bold. Gunn and Saffron interconnected DCUO, or excuse me, DCUO. Listen to me, Knock. I'm saying the name of the game. DCU will indeed have its own Batman, and he's going to be a first-time father. The dramatic Bat paternity saga will finally introduce movie fans to Damian Wayne, who is the son of Batman and holds the mantle of Robin, the boy wonder, in the pages of DC. Now, the first thing I have to ask about this is this question. If you're going to go with an older Batman that's a dad, why didn't they just keep Ben Affleck? I mean,
they're wanting someone in the late 30s is what they're aiming for.
Do what now, bud? I'm sorry.
They're aiming for somebody in their late 30s.
Yeah, is that what it is? Okay. But yeah, the Brave and the Bold. Look, Knock will tell you, I'm not a fan of Robin at all. In any iteration, I am not a fan of this character. His whole reason for being, as far as I'm concerned, is to be a damsel in distress for Batman to save. So, and what's funny is they keep killing him off and bringing him back. It's just, I'm like, but hey, who knows what's going to happen? But I see Ra's al Ghul's here. Name is here. Let's finish what this says here. Gunn mentioned in his address that Damian, whose mother is Talia al Ghul, daughter of one of Batman's greatest enemies, Ra's al Ghul, is his favorite Robin. So it's the Gunverse, I guess we're getting.
His favorite Robin's the absolute worst Robin.
Yeah, look, the game that Knock and I play at DCUO, there's the Teen Titans DLC is really cool, And one of the great things about it is you get to kick the shit out of Damian Wayne and the duo, man.
Well, not knowing much about the comics and stuff, not really having much opinion on Robin one way or the other. From what I understand, Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't really that big of a deal.
It wasn't
before the movies.
Nope.
It wasn't. That
So
book
maybe
didn't
he
sell
can
worth a
change people's
shit.
mind, with Robin in this one. I don't know.
Yeah,
And it's going to be a couple years before Robin's even a thing, really.
Absolutely. But I just
so maybe we can get a badass Robin. Who knows?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of the Marvel cartoons, and the only thing I remember seeing any of the Guardians of the Galaxy in really before the movies was there was an old Silver Surfer cartoon that ran like one season.
Yeah.
And that had some of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. Other than that, they were just in their own comics and.
Mm-hmm. And they weren't that big a deal. But James Gunn did take that and run with it and make it. Well, my brother, that's his favorite Marvel movies, is the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He loves them. You think they're the best thing Marvel's ever made, And I'm not saying that Gunn is not talented. I enjoy what he does, and I'm glad that they have a plan at least. I mean, before they were just throwing stuff. They were doing what Marvel's doing right now, throwing stuff up against the wall and seeing what sticks. They didn't really have a plan before.
And, trust us, they're connected somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
Marvel's
that's
throwing stuff against the wall.
Hang on, I think his video is on here. That's one of the things. I'll go ahead and play it. Let me pull up the unmute him. And make sure it's unmuted here.
While you're getting that,
listen to the beginning of what his announcement. Okay.
He has been disconnected in film and television for a long time, and it's one of our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now,
so he made a point to do that. That's right at the beginning of his announcement there.
Yep.
My only problem with that is that you can't 100% say that you're going to have the same actors for every spot.
Well, they're going to try and do that.
Fired, you get recast. I mean, you said all you want, but there's no guarantee that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, they're probably going to try and lock them into like the multi-picture deal and make sure everything's locked in. Okay, you're going to have to do movies. You're going to have to do voiceovers.
And that's part of the reason why they got rid of the high dollar Ben Affleck, the high dollar.
I thought studios were kind of trying to stay away from that.
What's that now?
I thought studios were trying to stay away from those kind of long-term contracts.
If you can get them cheap, like they did. Look, that's how Marvel built their brand. They got all those guys cheap to start off with.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. was
living out of his car almost when he made Iron Man, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think he got paid less than the actor that played Rhodey in that first Iron Man movie.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why Terrence Howard didn't want to come back, because he wanted more money than Robert Downey Jr.
Well, one thing I wanted to mention in the chat there is E. Clay Thomason said 2 Joker shows. I think that was just referencing the fact that on that that fan made poster that you had, it was referencing the fact that there was a previous Joker movie and then there's an upcoming one. So just one new one coming.
Yeah. And
they're staying in continuity, but they're continuity for Elseworlds.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to. I think he said it a little better than I was portraying it. If you look at the bottom under DC Elseworlds, these are the ones that are outside the continuity they're trying to create, like the Joker, like the Batman, and they're making the Batman.
And some of them have already happened.
Yeah, a couple of them have already been made. The Joker, Batman, Superman, Lois and Clark falls into Elseworlds, which is the TV show on the CW, and Teen Titans Go is a cartoon. Is it on Cartoon Network? I don't know where.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I actually started watching Superman and Lois last week.
It's good.
It's
from what I hear.
decent.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
I'm caught up in Arrowverse up to that point where that came in. So I just started the 7th season of Flash, and
I gave up on. I may go back and revisit Flash, but
I'm committed at this point. It's season
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, I'm watching the
so I'm
last
like,
season, so it's
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it. I'm just doing it in order.
You know this, Knock. When it was on the air live, I watched every episode of Arrow. It was my favorite one. I loved it, and
I
it
got
did
tired of
have
the
a
flashbacks.
slow decline to it. But the first couple of seasons of that show was some really good stuff, man. I'm not saying it rivals the Marvel Netflix stuff, but it was good. Especially that first season when he was killing motherfuckers left and right. That was awesome.
Arrow has cemented my hate for flashbacks.
Yeah, well, there's a
It
truckload
really
of them in
did.
that show.
I
Yes,
can't
absolutely.
anymore.
Yep.
I can't do flash. I hate anytime.
You may not want to
anytime
read
I
the
see
Privateer
flashback,
then, man, because there's a lot of flashbacks in that show.
you mentioned that before, and I was like, oh no.
Well, Stephen Amell is back for Flash season 9.
Is he?
I
Yep.
thought season 8 was the final season for
Nope.
Flash.
They're doing season 9. Comes out February or not February, March.
Yeah, I've been seeing
Let me
ads
look.
for it.
That's fine by me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I'll
the
keep
final
watching it.
season.
No, it actually next Wednesday.
I was fixing to say it's starting pretty quick.
Really?
I've been seeing the ads
Okay,
for it.
man,
Yeah.
I picked a good time to catch up. So
Yep.
I'll probably that entire season will probably be out before I'm finished catching up. So
Yeah.
that
will be
works.
the last of the Arrowverse shows because really,
I thought season 8 was it, but
Lois, Superman and
be a long
Lois is
season, yeah.
actually in a. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. It's in a different part of the multiverse from.
No, I thought everything got sucked into one now.
Did it?
With the Infinity Crisis or whatever.
Okay, Crisis on Infinite Earths. Put it all together.
Everything got destroyed except for one.
I stand
universe.
corrected. That's
if I
right.
understand it correctly,
I do remember that. Yeah. Okay. All right. I stand corrected. Yes.
Well, they left a few still there because I know that they left. They took the main CW shows and squished them together.
Yeah.
But like Doom Patrol and Titans are off on their own universes.
Yeah.
They were still in their own universes. They're
not part of the
sucked
Arrowverse.
in.
Yeah, the CW Arrowverse. Okay. Gotcha.
I didn't think those were connected
so
at all.
what else do we have on this slate? Let me remember to bring up the graphic so you guys can see it. I see it all the time. But the next one is Batman 2. Robert Pattinson is isn't going anywhere for now. Matt Reeves' Batman franchise will move forward with a sequel that is in no way connected to the DC that Gunn and Safran are building. I'm trying to see if it says anything about what it's about.
I dug the first one, so I don't know. I'm for it. I watched it in theaters too. It was good.
It had good
saw it in
stuff.
theaters,
It had
too.
some dumb stuff in it though.
I like the car. I like the Batmobile.
The car was kick-ass. That whole chase scene I thought was awesome. The next thing they have, Superman Legacy.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
I'll say this, when he made the announcement for this, I kind of perked up because he talked about getting back to truth, justice, and the American way.
There you go. That's what
big.
I'm talking about. That sounds fantastic right there. Gunn announced a release date for new Superman movie. He is writing that. He's writing it. That will definitely not star Henry Cavill. Well, we knew this by now. July 11th, 2025. The video showed cover art from All-Star Superman #1, which was written by Morrison and beautifully illustrated by artist Frank Quietly. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah.
Or Quietly?
Is it Quietly?
There was no mention of Gunn writing his Superman movie based off of it, but just putting the bold imagery next to his announcement lets fans know he's well-versed in one of the greatest Superman stories ever told and might be influenced by it. Gunn is not committed to direct yet. One of the biggest superhero movies announcements of the decade will be when Gunn casts his new Man of Steel, an actor who will probably be signing up for a long haul of service.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
We're good.
He's a dwarf. He can't play Superman.
We got it. That's good.
He's a dwarf. He can't play Superman.
Lizzo. There you go.
What's that?
Oh no,
Lizzo.
Lizzo.
The Man
Hey,
of Steel.
hush your
Okay.
mouth, because the
All right.
next thing on here is my girl, Supergirl. Supergirl is the next
Tom
thing
Holland.
on the list. Tom Holland. Yeah, he can play Supergirl. No doubt. Gunn wasted no time saying the movie will be an adaptation of writer Tom King and artist oh God, I can't pronounce his name. Bilquis Evely's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comics that debuted in 2021. That means Gunn isn't just reading the classics, he's reading new stuff. Oh God, no.
Yeah,
I can't remember if I've even read this. They may be sitting in a box.
It's
I looked at the art for
King
that
is
and didn't even
horrid.
read it. Yeah.
He's horrid.
Yeah.
And if he's taking clues from that, I don't have much faith in. I know you're a big Supergirl fan.
I'm a big Supergirl fan, but I haven't even read those. They looked horrible.
Yeah, they are. I didn't read them, but I got synopses of them.
Yeah.
And they're
the best run Supergirl's had recently was the New 52 run. That was badass. I don't know if you read those, John, but she became a Red Lantern and all kinds of shit. It was awesome.
Yeah.
New
52
the World Killer storyline I loved, the one that kicked off the whole thing. It was badass. But yeah, we got Supergirl, Creature Commandos.
Oh yeah, I'm excited
about
this
John? Help me out with
the original comic from DC Comics was a bunch of classic monsters from monster movies fighting Nazis.
What?
So you had Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. They had
it says here, monsters led by Bride of Frankenstein. Gunn and Safran have not cast any voice actors, but this is an animated series, by the way. That's what this is going to be. But whoever lands the roles will be asked to play their respective characters in live action as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a guess. If they want somebody that can play Frank in live action, I'm gonna say probably Travis Willingham's gonna be who they tap for Frankenstein.
What's his name? Travis Willingham?
Travis Willingham.
Spell his last name.
W-I-L-L.
I got it here.
Okay.
I got it here. Hang on. Let's take a look at him.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. All right.
He's no Tom Holland, but
he's a big dude.
Listen to this guy with Tom Holland. What's this guy been in that I've seen?
Well, he's in Legend of Vox Machina. That's him dressed up as Gronk, his barbarian from Vox Machina.
Wow. Is that the Vox Machina bunch right there?
Yeah, that's all the voice actors dressed up as their characters.
Okay. All right. Well, okay.
But Travis is like 6'3", I think.
6'3"? Yeah, I was fixing to say he's got to be a big dude. No doubt.
He is.
If you're gonna play Frank, you got to be a big guy.
Yeah.
You got to have a long neck to put them bolts in too. Peyton Manning could play that role. No doubt. That's what me and my brother used to call him all the time, was Frankenstein. Hell yeah.
He is an odd-looking guy.
Yeah, that's the next thing on the slate. Let me.
Yeah, and that one's actually already the arts. They're working on the art now. It's already been in production.
Yeah.
So they just haven't done the voice actors yet.
Okay. The next one is Lanterns. And Dallas, my buddy Dallas, that actually lives here right across the river from me, he's been waiting on this for a long time. No Ryan Reynolds. Will not be back as the Green Lantern, but imagine if Gunn convinced him to make a cameo.
That'd be funny.
How hilarious!
It'd probably be like a end credit, like scene.
Right. Gunn and Safran described the Green Lantern series as something akin to HBO's True Detectives in space. Very cool, man. That's what they are.
Space cops can be
they're Jedis. That's what they are. They settle disputes and shit. That's what they are. Yeah. That tracks since the Green Lantern Green Lanterns have always been DC's deep space cops. This series will feature Green Lantern Hal Jordan and John Stewart. Well, that'll make everybody happy right there.
Yep.
Because Dallas wants to see Hal Jordan, and I know a lot of people want to see John Stewart. And a little known fact, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in the Snyderverse, I know that's an ugly word these days, but in the Snyderverse, that if you've seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour uncut version of it,
yeah,
the part at the end where the Martian Manhunter shows up to talk to Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne, that wasn't supposed to be the Martian Manhunter. That was supposed to be Hal Jordan and Patrick and John Stewart, wasn't it?
Yeah, John Stewart was there.
Yeah, John Stewart and Hal Jordan. Zack Snyder wanted to bring the Green Lanterns into the story at the end of it, and they wouldn't let him. I don't know what is with Warner. They don't want to use that property for some reason. It's like they're holding it for some reason.
Well, remember, the original poster said Unite the Seven.
Yeah, it did. It did say
and the
that.
only seventh member of the Justice. Well, it means it was either going to be Martian Manhunter or it was going to be Green Lantern. That's the only seventh that it could have been.
It says here, the heart of the story will be a mystery that could be very well connect to the big moment or big villain that will bring all DC Studios movies and shows together. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, the template's already there. How many times have we said it? The template's already there. The first 3 phases of Marvel show you how to do this. It obviously works because people went and saw those movies in droves. They're still going to see Marvel movies off
that
the popularity of those.
Lantern's a series, right?
Yes.
So it's not gonna take all season building up to Parallax and then they beat them in the last 5 minutes, right?
I don't know. You know as much as I do. True Detective, whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Parallax. I think one of the big villains of this is going to be Lobo, and he's going to be played by Jason.
By Aquaman. Jason Momoa. Yeah.
Jason Momoa.
My joke was just like to say, I hope they don't just build up to the end of the season. And it's a 5-minute fight.
Right. Yeah. Slow burn
it's
to
over.
A 5-minute fight. No, we need to have some action along the way. Real Wade Nation says, hey, Joe, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you.
Hey,
okay, the next one we got to look at is The Authority. Now, tell me about this, John. What is The Authority?
The Authority was originally a Wildcard imprint. No, Wildcard, Wildstorm. Okay. Basically, it takes place in another. It's kind of a post superhero breakdown kind of thing, kind of like Watchmen. Basically, the heroes are extremely powerful, godlike.
Let me read this real quick. This is a superhero team that protects the world no matter how extreme the methods or how much blood is shed. They don't play nice and have a history of clashing with Superman in the comics. It can't be a coincidence that Gunn has such big plans for both Superman and the Authority in his opening slate, could it? But Gunn probably already knows you're thinking that this could also be a potential R-rated offering like Gunn's recent Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, it literally sounds like Suicide Squad.
That sounds like something he's going to sink his teeth into. That'll be the one he directs right there. You know? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said when he said in the talk that this is his passion project. So if he's going to direct something, it's going to be that one.
It's going to be that one. Yeah, that sounds like his deal, and he's good at that. Yeah, Knock. I didn't want you to get the wrong impression. Some people are mad at him for firing Henry Cavill, if that's what you want to call it. I don't think they fired him. They're going in a different direction. They're making a plan, and I like this. I like this framework. I like what they're doing. You know, some of the story choices may not be great, but as long as they put their passion into it, it should be good.
Somebody brought something up that would be interesting.
What's that?
And really kind of blow people's minds. Well, you've got Jason Momoa obviously going to become a new character.
Yeah, and he's suited for that, man. I never thought he was suited for Aquaman.
No, I didn't. He didn't, But somebody had suggested, what if they bring Henry Cavill back as Batman?
Oh, wow.
That'd be wild.
He's in the right age grade. He's in the right age group.
Fucking with people's heads doing that shit.
Yeah.
But
and he's built like him too.
There is not a bigger troll in Hollywood than James Gunn. That's something he would do. No doubt about that.
I think most people are when it comes to Cavill, they're just mad that there was not a Superman sequel.
That's true. He didn't get a chance.
He never. Yeah, he was. The Batman versus Superman movie, that was a Batman movie. Yeah. With a Superman cameo in it. I mean,
they wasted an opportunity. There should have been at least 3 solo Superman movies with Cavill.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, look, don't reinvent the wheel. Yep. Use that framework. It works. And it looks like they're trying to do that. This next one is Paradise Lost. Obviously, this will be, Themyscira, right? The world of Wonder Woman gets the Game of Thrones treatment. What? Yep. Wow. An HBO Max series that will take place on the island of her birth, Themyscira. This series is set before both Wonder Woman movies starring Gal Gadot, with no word yet on whether Gadot will be involved or if Princess Diana / Wonder Woman is even a main character. This would be an opportune time to introduce popular comics characters from the Wonder Woman universe, such as Nubia, which my sister-in-law will freak out about, and Yara Flor. So yeah, that sounds really cool. I don't
even think it will introduce Wonder Woman, but it won't start with Wonder Woman.
No, it doesn't. Sounds like they're going to do a little backstory about the Amazonians before they even get to that point.
Yeah.
Nubia, I don't know if I told you this before or not, John, but we went to I think they call it Fan Expo in Dallas, and my wife wanted to go because Negan and Daryl were going to be there. That was the headliners, right? And we actually got to see Adam West before he died too. He died that year. And there was long ass lines to see Negan and Daryl, but the second longest line was to see Adam West at that fucking Batmobile, man. There was a lot of people in line for that shit. But she was looking for a book, and I said, "What book are you looking for?" She said, "The first appearance of Nubia and Wonder Woman." I got my phone out, looked up what issue it was. And she's looking through the Wonder Woman books. I said, "Did you look in the bargain bin yet?" She goes, "Bargain bin?" I went over to where the $5 books were and started rifling through shit. Sure enough, found it, the fucking $5 books. Wow. Handed it to her. She goes, "Ah!" She freaked out on me. But yeah, that sounds like that'll be fun. I like the fact that they're gonna do some TV series.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Of course, I mean, the Warner's just like Disney. They got their own streaming service, so why not use it to try and push this stuff? Okay, let's see what else we got on this. Oh, watch out. John may have to leave for a second. Booster Gold, his boy.
Sorry.
His favorite dude in the entire world.
Yep.
Character created by the man who helped kill Superman, Dan Jurgens, in the early 90s comics. Booster Gold is a time traveler from the future who comes to the present to try to be the hero he never could be in his own timeline. With Gunn overlooking things, this HBO Max series has the potential to be a comedy goldmine, something DC hasn't seen that much lately. Now, I had heard that Peacemaker was a good one. Isn't that a comedy?
Yeah. Peacemaker's a comedy, but
I haven't watched it yet.
Peacemaker's hilarious.
Is it really raunchy though?
Have you seen Suicide Squad, the latest one?
Yeah, I've seen them. I just haven't watched Peacemaker yet.
It literally follows. It's same raunchiness. It's the same gory everything. It's awesome.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. It's on my list. I just haven't checked it out yet. But tell us about Booster Gold. Who is this guy?
Booster Gold was a football player in the 24th century who got busted for betting on his own games.
Oh my God!
And
he's Charlie Hustle. Oh
no! To do part of his community service, he did it in this museum that had like some superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And so he basically steals a Legion flight ring, some other tech, jumps in Rip Hunter's time machine, comes back to the 20th century to be a hero.
Wow.
But he's all about promotion. So if he took him to in modern times, he's big on Facebook. He's big on the social medias and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was all about making that money at first. But he eventually
becomes the hero
that
he
wanted to
be.
Yeah. Yeah. He eventually becomes the hero that he wants to be, and he usually tags up with the second Blue Beetle, Ted Kord.
I was fixing to say,
his partner in crime.
It's pretty neat that they're making the Blue Beetle movie, and hopefully that'll transfer over to this new phase they're doing. Hopefully.
Well, that's a different Blue Beetle, but the villain of that Blue Beetle is a made-up sister of Ted Kord.
Okay.
So there is a connection to Ted Kord. So it's entirely possible that they could bring Ted Kord in.
Okay. Knock Lunatic 84 there on Twitch. That's Sears.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, Sears.
Evening, everyone. And by the way, Sears, if you didn't know, that's Knock right there, man. From DCUO. Damn, I didn't know that. He says about Booster Gold. Yeah. The guy Lunatic there, he plays DCUO with us. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I played that game for a decade, buddy. I don't play it much anymore, but man, I played it solid for 10 years straight, dude.
I'm still playing World of Warcraft. I came back to World of Warcraft. I'm still playing it. So. The inside everybody is thinking that Chris Pratt is going to come play Booster Gold because he'll be done with Star-Lord. And that's a perfect.
Wow.
That's a perfect.
Yes, he would be perfect for the wisecracking jock. Yeah, he's tailor-made for that.
Chris Pratt have some connection with James Gunn too? I feel like
yeah, they're friends.
Yeah, he is. I think he made him a star.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah,
right. I mean, before that, he was just the fat guy in Parks and Rec, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. And then the last property they're going to bring to the screen that they've tried to do umpteenth times, and we're going to try it again. Swamp Thing.
But they're finally going to do it right and do it as a horror movie.
Yeah. I heard the series was good. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was good. I heard the budget is why they didn't do a second season to it.
Yeah, that's what
Apparently,
it was.
It was going to get really expensive to make or something.
But this would be a perfect property for James Wan.
The guy that did the Aquaman movie?
Yeah. The guy that does Aquaman, but he cut his teeth in horror.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's close to Saffron because Saffron was his producer.
I like the Swamp Thing character. He's probably my favorite character, non-human character in Injustice 2. I know him from that game, and I dig him. You know, he's all about the green, right? He's all about protecting the plants, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like an interesting slate, man. It looks like an interesting slate. Of course, we're going to get Joker 2, and we're going to get Batman 2 out of the Elseworlds, and I like that. I really wish Marvel would do more of that. Standalone movies. You know, standalone universe movies. I really wish.
Not everything has to be connected.
No, it doesn't. Imagine.
Well, I mean, like right now, they're basically all standalone movies. So I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. None of them are fucking connected in any way, shape, or form. But imagine if they did. John will know what I'm talking about. And Matt might too. I don't know how much you've read comic books, man, but imagine one of the greatest Spider-Man stories ever is Kraven's Last Hunt. Imagine if they did a movie of that. That would be badass, man. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we will get a Kraven movie.
Now I've heard they're in the works. But
is it April or
think it was supposed to be early this year, and they moved it to the fall, I believe.
Yeah.
Did it get moved back? Let me look at my list because I have a list.
You got a list?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yep.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
The guy that played Quicksilver.
Yep.
Oh, Kick-Ass.
Yep.
Ah. Wow, man. You know what?
Yeah, got moved to October.
I would not be on board with that until I saw Tenet. If you've seen him in Tenet, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's a bad motherfucker in Tenet, boy. Cowboy shit. That's all I can say in that movie. Is cowboy shit.
he has an interesting role in the Kingsman, which I should say the King's Man.
The King's Man, which I just watched recently and got that off my slate. And boy, howdy, am I glad I watched it. That was awesome. Most prequels suck. I still
haven't had time. I still haven't found time to watch it because between classes and doing all the shows I'm on.
Yeah. Oh, Knox joining you on that, man. He's going for another damn certification too. He's going back to school. Oh, check out Sears. He's like,
getting your network
cowboy
plus?
shit. Cowboy shit.
Cool.
Yeah. But I could see that. I could see him doing that one. Yeah, for sure. He's a good actor. I like that guy. I like those guys like him that are kind of a chameleon. You have to think about who it is when you see him on the screen. You know what I mean?
Right.
The best one I've ever seen like that was, the guy that played Lee Harvey Oswald. First movie he was in was JFK, and Gary Oldman, and he just won the Academy Award finally for playing the British Prime Minister during World War II. What was his name?
Churchill.
That's it. Yeah, and that guy, he's always been a chameleon to me. My favorite movie with him in it is, excuse me, The Professional. I love him as that psycho cop in The Professional. I think he's awesome. But I love actors like that, and that guy's one of them. Aaron Taylor Johnson, that's his name. Okay. Yep. I got to remember that.
I forgot that this had come out on Disney Plus, but has anyone not watched Black Panther yet?
Oh, Wakanda Forever?
I went to the theater to see Black Panther.
Wakanda,
my wife likes the Black Panther. I got her a Black Panther hoodie for Christmas, man. Yeah,
I see every Marvel and DC movie in the theater.
Yeah. What'd you say, John? I'm sorry.
I said I see every Marvel and DC movie in the theater.
Yeah, he does. He goes to them all. He's like you, Knock. He goes to them all.
My nephew had just gotten out of his basic training just in time for that when that movie came out. So we saw it. I took him to see it in theaters.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it, man?
It was all right. As you know, I'm never in the mood to watch funeral stuff, but you know.
And you watched a 3-hour one, wasn't it fun?
Yeah. So it was bittersweet kind of ish.
I mean, it's a nice ode to Chadwick Boseman, but I think I think in the long term, it's a loss for Marvel. You have put to bed that character, and he's a great character. They should have recast that, but you know, hey.
If they would have somehow brought back Michael B. Jordan, I would have loved that. And they kind of did.
I thought that's the one thing that kind of struck me aback, and made me think, wow, okay, they did something different here. Whenever she, took the stuff and they buried her, and that's who she saw was Michael B. Jordan's spirit. And I was like, wow, this is a different take on it. Wow, this is pretty cool. That's about the only part of the movie that I thought, some of it, oh my God. Yeah. I don't want to. Why did you bring that movie up, dude?
Because it came out. It has to be mentioned. This is up to date stuff, is it not? Anyways, I'm wondering how the sun's going to factor in.
The sun.
I'm curious. Yeah, the end credit.
Oh shoot! Well, that's years down the road, isn't it?
Is it?
They can recast him as someone else, and suddenly he's there.
Yeah, and older. It could be a couple of years down the road.
Yeah,
just in their universe. So I'm curious if they're gonna, give him the mantle, the sun.
I don't know. I just know they
should
have kept. You're good now. It focuses in on you, John. I hate it when those things do that. I hate it. It's like they're stuck on stupid and can't focus.
I think that was the thing that caught my attention, was like, I wonder what the future is going to hold for that position.
Yeah.
Well,
I just think it was
they brought him in for a reason.
So
I think it was a mistake not to recast the role because it's
I do
a fantastic role. He's the Batman of the Marvel universe, and now we're not going to see him anymore, and it just sucks. But like I've said before, and I think I've told you, John, they're not making these movies for me. They're not making these movies for the old school comic book reader. They're making them for guys like Knock, young guys that have never picked up a comic book. And hey, if you dig it, I'm happy for you. It's just, you see the lens I'm seeing it through, and it's just, the first 3 phases I loved, because even though they changed them up a little bit, like, for instance, if you're a huge friggin' Ant-Man fan, you're pissed off about the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is the guy behind the friggin' everything that the Avengers do, because that was Hank Pym in the comic books. Yeah. That was Ant-Man that did all that shit, not Iron Man, But I understood the tweak they made there, and everything. And I kind of thought with the first 3 phases, they were using the comic books as an outline and actually making the stories better, if you ask me. I thought Thanos' motivation in the books was a hell of a lot sillier than the one in the movies. He actually thinks he's trying to save the universe. And in the comic books, he was just trying to get laid, Yeah. He's trying to kill enough people to bring out the spirit of death because he was in love with her,
Yep.
Yeah. Like a stone
let's see what we got here.
Wade
Nation says, "Hey Joe, you playing game later?" No, sir, I am not. I have Mardi Gras balls this weekend, and if I was playing, I'd be playing football with that guy right below me, but I am busy. Let's see. Sears says, and never show the true version of the comic. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, they're never going to be able to do that all the time. But
the current guy running the writers' rooms at Marvel now, Nate Moore, has come out and said that he doesn't want comic book fans in the writers' room.
Yeah, he doesn't want comic book fans of the old comic books in the writers' room for Marvel at all. No, he doesn't. And that's, hey, and like I said, that's because they're not making them for me.
Nope.
They're making them for the younger generation, which is cool. I'm an old man. My time has passed. It's cool. I'm glad I got the first 3 phases, though. They were kick-ass.
Oh, yeah.
What were you going to say, Knock? I'm sorry.
I wanted to segue a little bit because I was hoping that there would be a discussion about this, but I don't know how much of you guys keep up on Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
And
I haven't watched I haven't watched the 3rd episode yet.
Fucking John, I hate your guts right now. You better watch it by next Wednesday. All right, I swear to, and whatever episode comes up this Sunday. I swear to God, you need to be up to date on that because I need to just.
I'll get caught up.
And Knock is
never mind.
He's the one that can bitch at you about it, buddy. Not me. I wouldn't bitch at you.
It has been how many days since Sunday? Killing me.
I thought it was a good episode. Knock. I thought it was a good episode.
I don't want to give an opinion on it.
Huh?
I don't want to give an opinion. I don't like giving opinions on things that people haven't seen. So
okay, all right, that's fine.
Because I don't like opinions myself on something I haven't seen.
Well, John, part of the homework for next week's show is catch up on
both the episodes, because by then another episode will have been out.
Or else.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to because we're doing it on. Now we've moved what was normally Fantastic Thursday to Fantastic Friday, and Keith is taking over Thursday because Gary needs a day off to work on his art.
Yeah.
And
now, I understand that completely. I had to remember, what was it, last Monday? Not Cannon show, but the one before that. What were they doing that week? I can't remember, but I told them I couldn't do it because
Cheap Trick.
I had to finish. Yeah, that's right. And they're one of my favorite bands, man. But I had to finish Christian's portrait. Get it to him.
Yeah, but no, I'll get caught up.
Okay.
I did. I haven't watched the latest 2 seasons, but I have been watching Vilma.
Vilma?
Oh, the little animated show. Yeah. I'm like, I want to commit to it. It's interesting. It's an interesting show because if you actually watch it, it does do a lot of BS stuff, but it also kind of, keeps itself honest too. It calls out its own shit. And if you look at it outside of it, like Scooby-Doo, if you say it ruins it, fine, whatever. It has nothing to do with the actual thing. They literally just use the character.
I can't offer an opinion because I'm not gonna watch it. But
I'm sticking with. If you look
I have
at it,
heard that it's over the top with the meta stuff.
It's an over, but it also calls itself out at that too. But it also it's an adult cartoon. It's not meant for kids.
It's not for kids.
I'm not the target audience for that.
No,
I don't know who. Nobody knows who the target audience is, but it's
maybe
I don't know.
Kaling is.
Sears does not agree with you, sir. Sears says, "Sorry, but I'm not a fan."
I'm not saying I'm a fan. I'm not saying it's the greatest show ever, but it is most watched on HBO.
Hey, Courtney.
It's the only animated show.
Courtney says, "Hi, Joe. I just wanted to pop in and tell you I'm listening and to you while I'm on the road. Hope everyone's having an excellent night. Peace out. It's good to see you, Courtney. Good to see you." She's a great chick. What was that, Knock? I'm sorry.
No, nothing.
No. What were you saying?
No, I'm just keeping an open mind on it and trying to see it rather than just listening to other people saying it about it. And I've actually wanted to keep watching it. So I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
I think if you take apart with the shit that it's trying to do wrong and
art is very subjective, dude. People see things from different perspectives. I am never going to poo-poo you for liking what you like. You know what I mean?
It's not even that I really like all these. I just want to keep watching.
You like all Marvel movies that are coming out, and the only reason why I'm going is
I think you're putting too much stock in it. I never said I like these things. Watching.
You don't totally hate them like I do. Oh, God. Let's see. Lunatic says, like an R-rated Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. There's actual murder in it. And the weird
but
thing
anyway, getting back to the DC slate, what do you think of what he's chosen to start his... I don't want to call it a Gunverse yet, but some of it definitely is leaning towards some of the stuff he really digs. I mean, just look at what he's doing with Batman. He's going to put in Damian Wayne, and we haven't even, in the DC movies so far. I mean, I want to say current day, since Man of Steel. We've seen Robin in the past, but it was
Dick Grayson.
Yeah, Dick Grayson. He's going to start with Damian Wayne. In his story, he's not even having Dick Grayson.
I'm starting to wonder if he got himself canceled by Disney. And he was like, "I need a way out."
So he get this job.
I need a way out so that DC will hire me. Yeah. And Disney, who I'm under contract with, he probably had like a huge contract with Disney.
Well, he was supposed to take over the whole cosmic side of Marvel.
He did. So he's like, "Well, if I'm not going to get that, I don't want to be here and just do."
Maybe he saw what was coming down the pike with these other shows and was like, you could be right, Knock. That could be what he's trying to do.
Himself. Maybe he's like, "Hey, remember that tweet I did back in 2010?
Right.
You should point that out and get me fired."
The thing that really drives us old school comic fans crazy, it's not really, I mean, the stories it's not really the stories they're picking and choosing. Well, yes, I guess in a way it is. I do not need to see an Ironheart story before I see the Silver Surfer and the Fantastic Four.
Exactly.
I mean, they've got such better characters than the Drek that they're trying to put on screen. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? You have got some of the best characters ever. And
the only problem is they've got to pay the past creators or their estates.
This is true.
But if their new stuff that's under contract with Marvel, that they've fixed all that language and stuff in those contracts.
Sears thinks you may be right now. You may be right.
That's a good point.
Well, I think Universal still's got a piece of the Hulk, right? I know that's why we're never going to see Planet Hulk. We're never going to see that story. And it's one of the greatest stories ever told. When Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four finally say, you know what, we can't control this guy anymore. They shoot him off the planet. And when he crash lands, we've seen some of it. Thor Ragnarok had some of it in it.
Yeah.
The part with the arena and all that.
There's like a Lionsgate, like 1 hour version of it.
And
animated version.
Yeah, the animated.
It was cool.
Planet Hulk. Yeah. Oh man.
Speaking of Hulk, the one show I did actually enjoy, and most of the time I was drinking while I was watching it, was She-Hulk.
Yeah. No.
That show just cracked me up.
Once again, that one right there. I watched every episode, and I can tell you
watched.
my opinion of that one.
Yeah.
The one thing
The
I'll say about
comics were
that
much
show
better,
is,
my friend.
you know,
Much better.
for everybody that defended it along the way, the last episode just totally made it impossible to defend.
Yeah, it did. They literally turned her into a Karen looking for the manager.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. They broke the fourth wall just a way that's just unrepairable. Like, you can do it a little bit, but
to totally destroy the story.
Yeah,
everything
into the
up to this
room,
point had no consequences.
And the robot Kevin, I mean, that was just dumb.
I like I said, I was drinking, so to me it was all hilarious.
You were laughing your butt off.
It was great.
Oh my God!
Well, Dan Slott was defending it. He's like, "Well, I wrote She-Hulk, and I know it. And this is exactly what I wrote." And I'm like, "It wasn't me, but somebody had posted. Did you make in one of your comics? Did you make She-Hulk a drunken whore?"
Right? What the fuck? Banging everything that moved. I don't know, man, but I'm gonna keep track of it. I have this current slate that I see right here out of DC. There's some stuff on here I like. Of course, first thing is this chick.
Yeah.
Now it may be a garbage story, but maybe let's tweak it, make it a little better, maybe. But the Wonder Woman one. The kind of Wonder Woman prequel kind of thing. That looks really cool. What's it called? Paradise Lost?
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of cautious, cautiously optimistic. Optimistic.
Well, and most of it's because we really don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know who the actors are going to be or any of that
James
stuff.
Gunn, so it's like it's like Sean Payton coming to the Broncos.
It's like Sean Payton coming to the Broncos. You just don't know what you're going to get. But you know it's going to be good.
Shaking his head over there.
Best coach.
All right, man. So, but when it comes to Marvel, their next two phases, what we know about it, I'm only interested in a couple of things. One of them's the Ant-Man movie. Now, I am going to see that. The weekend it opens, I'm going to see that.
Well, everybody's like, "Oh, Kang, what's he?" And I'm like, nobody's going to know, who he is because nobody watched Loki. Well, a lot of people watch Loki.
Well, a lot of people watch Loki. They know exactly who he is.
Second of all, they'll handle introductions in that because it's technically a different version.
The actor playing Kang, who is now in every movie that comes out.
Yeah,
he's a pilot. He fights Creed. He's Kang.
Hey,
he
man.
goes everywhere.
He can do everything.
Yeah.
He's all over the place. He's omnipresent, as they say.
I like how Hollywood will take an actor and put them in everything in like a 2-year period, and then you never hear from them again.
Yep.
Seems like that happens a lot.
Yeah, it's burnout.
They just disappear.
Yep.
But like I was going to say, the Ant-Man movie, I'm really looking forward to. The other one in this phase I'm looking forward to is the Captain America movie, Captain America New World Order. Other than that, everything else looks like Drek to me. I'm scared for what Disney Plus is going to do to Daredevil. I am really scared by that. Oh, God. After the way they treated the Kingpin and Hawkeye and Daredevil and She-Hulk, I am not looking forward to that.
I mean, Daredevil, that may have been the best live-action series Marvel's ever had.
The only comic book property that's been on television, episodic television, that I can think of that comes close to that is the 70s Hulk show. The 70s Hulk show was a damn good show.
And it was good. It was kind of formulaic too, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
of course it has to be formulaic if it's the Hulk. I mean,
it was episodic. It wrapped up each story,
That's
and
true.
he was on the road again.
Yeah, you could watch one episode and not miss something.
It wasn't like now Daredevil. They told long stories in those things, and there were good ones too. I've said several times, Marvel's Netflix, the worst of Marvel's Netflix, Iron Puss, as I like to call him, not Iron Fist, but Iron Puss, is better than most of what Marvel's putting out on TV now.
I liked the actress in Iron Fist.
Huh?
I thought she was good in that role.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
we were hoping before this whole thing. We were all hoping for a Daughters of the Dragon series with her and Misty Knight, Colleen Wing and Misty Knight.
And Sears says Iron Post laugh out loud. What else is he saying here? He said, I saw that comic on YouTube. And what else is he saying? Disney almost ruined anything they touch. Yeah, they have a tendency to do that. That's because they're so stuck on the Disney princess thing. They're just trying to make everything female. It's ridiculous.
Well,
but anyway,
can I give you an example? I watched the new episode of The Bad Batch
today
that came out this morning.
Oh, I gotta watch that still.
The there's a Wookiee in it that leads the little tribe that they visit.
Huh.
It's a woman.
Well, I tell you,
and of course, everything has to be woman led. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's the way Disney is. Yeah. It's just I think they think that sells toys or something. I don't know what it is, but I've heard the Bad Batch is good though.
Bad Batch is awesome.
Yeah, is
this season has been incredible.
Yeah,
I haven't watched this season yet.
I've loved every episode.
I'm gonna binge it once all the episodes are out. Then I'm gonna binge it.
Yeah. That's the thing. You got to pick and choose what you're watching. The one I'm watching right now, every episode, the minute it comes on, and we've had to wait for the end of football games this time around, is Last of Us. I'm watching that one.
Yeah, I have to watch that the next day. But
yeah,
luckily for this one, I don't have to worry about spoilers. So
no, you don't.
I don't have to watch it.
People are watching it though.
They are.
Yeah, they are. They actually did a thing. There's a Linda Ronstadt song that's involved in this last episode, and they actually did a thing on Entertainment Tonight about that song.
Oh yeah,
they did. I'm a big Linda Ronstadt fan. As soon as he started singing it, I was singing with him. I was like, "Wow, man, that's a great tune. That's a great song."
Sadly, she's lost her ability to sing. So.
Yes, I know. It's a crime, man. It is a crime. Let's see. Eclay Thomas says the Bad Batch is a perfectly named show for what it is. Bad. Okay. Well, everybody's got their opinion.
Ban.
No, I can't ban him.
You're lucky I'm not a mod, Eclay Thomas.
It's basically Clone Wars season 8 and 9.
Is it? Okay.
But these last couple episodes have been really good. I've really
now let me get this straight. The Bad Batch has to do with a bad batch of clones, right?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. Yep. That's it. And there were ones that weren't affected by.
Let's go ahead and touch base on this last one, and I'm fixing to find out. Of course, Knock may have never seen this before, but I got something in my feed the other day. Hang on, let me pop it up here. Get this up here. Oh, stop it. My boy, who has been in several fantasy and sci-fi movies before, Marc Singer, turned 75 yesterday.
Wow.
Saw this on my feed. And this is an older actor. I don't even know if you've seen anything he was in, but
he looks like a weird variation of Kevin Bacon.
Right? But he was a good actor. He's very underrated. His best acting movie, I think, that he was in was a movie called If You Could See What I Hear. And if you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. It's the true story of a guy that's blind and his relationship with his father and his best friend that he goes to school with and a bunch of stuff. But he ends up saving his daughter's life from drowning. And this guy is blind. Okay. So highly recommend that show. But the reason why I put it, I wanted to talk about him is he was on a show called V. Of course, he was also the Beastmaster. That's let me let me circle it right here. You see him right here with a shirt off. That's the Beastmaster. That's the guy that can talk to the animals. Huh?
Wasn't Tanya Roberts in that too?
Yeah, she was. That was a sex appeal fantasy show right there, really.
That's not Knock with his shirt off on there?
No, that's not Knock with his shirt off. No, that's the Beastmaster. That's Marc Singer. But V, if you guys have never seen this show, what I tell people all the time is that it is if you want to teach young people what Nazi Germany was like, if you want to do it in a way that will interest them and keep them engaged, show them the 2-night miniseries of V. Of course, it spawned a television show, which I've seen, not very memorable. It didn't last long. I think it was like 2 seasons, wasn't it, John? I think. Wasn't very long. And they rebooted it. ABC did, but it first came out on NBC.
Let me open up my media server and I'll tell you.
Yeah, it was on NBC over 2 nights, May 1st and 2nd of 1983. I had just graduated from high school when this hit the airwaves back in 1983. And Star Wars Return of the Jedi was about to come out in a couple of days when this came out.
Wow.
It was a good time to be a sci-fi fan. And hang on a second. I wanted to show you.
Was nobody wore like a Guy Fawkes mask in this version of V?
No, different V.
I got you.
No, that's V for Vendetta. This is V. And if you see the movie, you'll understand why I'm talking about it being a good way to teach them about Nazi Germany, because these guys show up looking for help from Earth, right? And there's a lot of stars in it. But
1 season, 19 episodes.
It was only 1 season, yeah. And then they did another miniseries called V: The Final Battle. That was in 85 when that came out. But it was what I really loved about it was the whole thing was dedicated to freedom fighters around the world. One of the first things you see in the show is this right here on the screen. Right when it starts, it says, "To the heroism of the resistance fighters, past, present, and future, this work is respectfully dedicated." And it's all about this. In World War II, it was the Jews, right? In this movie, it's the scientists that are ostracized and rounded up. You know what I mean? And it's because they're the ones that can find out what's going on. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out because it stands up today. I watch it about once every year or two. It is a great friggin' show. Have you ever seen it, Matt?
I have not, but it sounds interesting.
It's fantastic, man. It really is. Let's see. E. Clay Thomason says V is great sci-fi. I've watched it dozens of times. The TV show wasn't that great, but both of the original series were. Yeah, they were. All you have to do really is watch V and V: The Final Battle. The TV show was okay, but like I said, it was only on 1 season. But yeah, man. Let's see. I think I had a video queued up from it. Yeah. Check it out. This is what it looked like back in 1983 when it first hit the airwaves. And hopefully I won't get dinged for this because this is the actual NBC broadcast from that night. Hang on. Let me make sure I got the mute off and everything. Old man working here.
Tonight on the NBC Sunday Movie, prepare for V.
Look familiar?
Most extraordinary miniseries ever made. A daring TV journalist struggling to uncover the startling truth behind the aliens' visit to Earth. And a beautiful and brave young scientist fighting for the very survival of the human race. Together, they take you on a fantastic journey to meet the visitors. Prepare yourself for a television event that's out of this world. Prepare for V. Next.
Yeah. That was a great show, man. Really was.
Oh, they tried to do the reboot of that on like it was Fox.
Yeah, they rebooted it on ABC. They did a reboot of it. Yeah.
I like the lady alien chick. She was in Stargate.
Yep.
Which lasted 3 seasons.
Yeah, the ABC version was
well, once it gets to 3 seasons, it's canceled. I stopped paying attention.
Yeah, I started watching it, but it didn't. I always tell the original series wasn't that great. Like I said, it was only on one season, but the original miniseries, the 2-night show, the 4 hours they showed over those 2 nights, they were riveting television. And if you ever want to teach young people what it was like in Nazi Germany, they recreated, only it's aliens on Earth. And instead of the Jews being rounded up, it's scientists. Because why? Because these are the guys that can get the answers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To find out what's going on with them. You know, it's really a fantastic show. If you've never seen it, go check it out. I figured I'd highlight it tonight, and if anybody had seen it, get their thoughts on it. John, have you ever watched that one?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I watched it when it came out on TV. I was watching it every week
when it came out.
14.
14. You're only 4 years younger than me?
I was 13. I was 13 when the miniseries came out, because it was 83, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then 84 was the series.
Okay,
yeah.
So you're 5 years younger than I am. Okay.
Yeah, I was born in 70.
I got you. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Then you know all about it. Then. Yeah, that's a great story, man. Fantastic stuff. And Marc Singer is, I just think he's one of the most underrated actors ever, man. I don't understand how he didn't become a much bigger thing than he was, you know. Yeah. But it could be, you know, he did a lot of religious movies too, so
yeah,
it could have been his, you know. We see how most Christians, unless your name's Chris Pratt, get pretty much shut down in Hollywood, you know. So.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of
he takes the licks too. So
yeah, he does. It takes a lot of licks, but he keeps on ticking, and he keeps putting out good stuff. Those guys on Pop Culture Minefield just got done covering The Terminal List, which is probably the best thing that was on TV last year, man. That show was off the chain. Did you watch that one, Knock?
I missed it. What are you talking about?
Terminal List.
I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't. I just haven't been in a movie. I haven't been in a movie mood lately.
Yeah,
like just one-off stories. So it's not really.
Well, this is a series.
This is a series.
Oh,
Terminal List is a series. Yeah,
I haven't really been in the mood for new series because I'd have to invest in them.
Listen to Knock. Listen to him. What are you checking out over there, man? You look like you're working.
Oh no! I'm just doing something on the other screen.
Okay. Let's see. E. Clay Thomas says the guy who wrote V also wrote the Incredible Hulk 70s show. Well, there you go.
Alien Nation,
and another movie and series, Alien Nation. Well, yeah, that's all good stuff. Kenneth Johnson did all of that stuff. Wow, man.
I know Kenneth Johnson did Hulk and Alien Nation, so I could see him doing a show like V.
Yeah. Well, V, you saw the discs, right? That definitely the guys that made Independence Day were definitely influenced by this flick as young people, man, for sure.
I watched Kenneth Johnson he did a commentary for one of the Incredible Hulk episodes. I think it was one of those where it was like, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hour long, like, you know, like season premiere type episodes where it's, you know, basically like a TV movie. Right. And he did a really good job of you know, breaking down scenes and why we shot this and why we shot that. And interesting guy.
Yeah. Hey, some guys are just naturals at it, man. They just put out good stuff.
You know, he talked about how, you know, when they would show when there'd be scenes where they would have Bill Bixby, like, you know, like where he's halfway through becoming the Hulk.
Yeah, and he's got those contact lenses in, the white contact lenses,
and like in the makeup on when it was Bixby, how they would shoot all those mid transition scenes together, even if he hulked up multiple times in the episode.
Right.
So little tricks like that you don't even really think about unless you have, you know, the creator of a show explain it to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, if you have a means to watch it, definitely check out V, the original miniseries. Now, I'm talking about the original miniseries. It's only 2 nights. It's a 4-hour long show. You know, it had commercials, so it's actually about 3.5 hours long. But fantastic stuff, man. Well, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you. You need to see it. But the guys that made Independence Day were definitely influenced by it, because the one thing they do have in common is the type of ship, and they do show up in every major city when they first show up. You know, so it's kind of the same thing as Independence Day at the beginning of it, but they come in peace. They come in peace. They need our help. Yep. Yes. But anyway, definitely check out V, and kudos to Marc Singer and his 75th birthday. That guy right there. I don't know. I liked Beastmaster too. I thought that movie was cool.
Oh yeah.
It's not one of the greatest fantasy shows ever, but it had a hottie
classic.
in it.
It's a classic.
Tara Reid's a pretty hot chick. Yeah. But and like I said, if you get a chance to see, if you could see What I Hear, you will laugh your ass off. First of all, it's a funny movie. His dad's this Irishman that owns a pub, and it's funny as shit. and of course, his son's been blind his whole life, right? So he doesn't give him any quarter when he's drunk or fucked up or anything. He fucks with him all the time. It's hilarious. But the very gorgeous young African-American woman named Sherry Belafonte is in that movie with him. And the daughter of Harry Belafonte, the singer. And she was a gorgeous chick. Not much, buddy boy. What's going on? Fixing to plug stuff, fixing to get out of here. And with that, we are done with the Atmosphere for tonight. So let's go around the horn and fill everybody in on what's going on, starting with John. What's going on, dude?
Well, you can find me Monday through Saturday on Pop Culture Minefield, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central. All times will be in Central. Friday and Saturday afternoons at 1. And I'm behind the scenes for Dork Side of the Ring on Sundays. And I'm also, I'm here almost every Wednesday. And I'm also on That 70s Rock Fans channel for his Only Talk and Roll panel.
Yeah, man.
And that's normally 4 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Mountain.
Yeah. He did it an hour later. I probably because Razor Fist was on. Probably.
Yeah, well, it was because of Austin Tunick, the guy that wrote Austin Tunick. He wrote the canon books, the canon guides.
The canon guide, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so
that's a cool stream. If you guys missed that, go watch that canon. It was the ninja movies this time. It's pretty damn cool, man.
Yeah,
pretty
Joe,
cool.
John. You hang out with your buddy Razor Fist.
That's right, man. He was.
He's awesome.
Razor Fist is badass, dude.
Oh yeah,
and he loves those canon movies. Dude, he has got some videos about the Death Wish series on his channel. Go check him out, dude. He is a big fan of those movies.
And it's great for That 70s Rock Fans channel.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Those canon.
Yeah,
streams.
dude. He got up to 900 subscribers last night on Toxic Tuesday. They did Waterworld last night on Toxic Tuesday. Yeah. So. Yeah, he's doing well. He's He's about to be monetized here pretty quick, which means he's going to have to mind his P's and Q's then. Look out.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt, where you at, bro? Tell him what's up with you.
So I'll plan on being back on here next Wednesday if you have a stream, Joe, unless I have something come up last minute. Then a week from Sunday, I'll be back on your channel as we preview the Super Bowl with the NFL pregame party. So that'll be at 10 Central a.m. So looking forward to that.
Sunday, and 10. Yes. All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Knock. Tell them what's up with you. Besides school, we know you're going to school.
Yeah. No, pretty much the same as Matt. I'll be here next Sunday. Maybe by then we'll also hear something about the Colts and the Cardinals, unless they're waiting until after the Super Bowl to make their head coaching stuff. But we'll have some stuff to discuss that happened last 2 weeks leading up to that. And then, we'll be here, most likely be here next Wednesday as well, where we will probably discuss the 4 episodes of
Last of Us. If John gets with the program.
It's all the entire next Wednesday show is dependent on John. Otherwise,
it'll happen. I will definitely watch it.
We will sit here for 2 hours discussing nothing if John doesn't watch those 2 episodes.
I'll watch
them. There won't even be topics.
No, right? We're just going to sit here and pick on John for 2 hours. Oh, my God. All right, boys and girls. You know what we're watching here. It's State of the Atmosphere. Do it every Wednesday, 5:30 to 7:30 Central, right here on YouTube. And then, of course, tomorrow, you'll be able to see Highlander. And, boy, guys, look, I'm not going to show it now, but tomorrow you really want to tune in at the beginning of that show, because I took my next step as a YouTuber. I got memed, man.
Nice.
Friggin' Sean Estep did a killer friggin' video of me and Danny hacking the Matrix. My God, it is great. I didn't want to show it here. I want to show it on that show first. So tomorrow night, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, the brothers will be hacking the Matrix. That's where we look at today's headlines, cut through the Matrix, and tell you what's really going on. And then, of course, you can watch me create my comic book every Saturday at 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern. That's PM in the afternoon. Just Fire Jim joins me, and we continue plotting issue 2 of The Privateer. It's right on schedule. And like Knock and Matt both said, we are off this weekend on Pregame Party. I'm sure Knock will give us a breakdown of what happens at the Pro Bowl this week when we get back together on Super Bowl Sunday for the last pregame party of the year. Also, I'm gonna have to. I'll tell you what, guys. Let's put together something for the Senior Bowl too. I'm gonna try and watch it, even if it's on a replay.
I don't even know when it is. I've been seeing
it's this
things
Saturday,
about it,
I believe. I believe it's this
I'll
Saturday.
be looking at it because I know at least Max Dugan's going to be in it. So,
they usually show it on NFL Network. So, but anyway,
I'll be watching.
That's Super Bowl Sunday, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. And then, of course, don't forget, we've got Dork Side of the Ring. It's brought to you by Pop Culture Minefield and KGRA Radio. They are on the radio now, boys and girls.
Yep.
And their shows are really doing well. Looks really good. I'm enjoying watching them. The thing that's cracking me up about it is he's having to stick to a timeline now. He's having to cut stuff off, but they're doing a good job. They're doing a great job. This week, we're going to talk about the fallout from the Royal Rumble. You see the Dork Knight in the chat there. He's going to be there hosting. I am his co-host on that show, and that's at 1 p.m. Central and 2 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to check that out. I'll have my State of the Apron report where I tell you about what's going on with the other smaller promotions. And of course, we're going to talk about everything that went on this week in the WWE, starting with Cody Rhodes calling out the big man. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. The road to WrestleMania is on and popping. So for Das Wolfen, Knock, and Matt, we want to say thank you for watching. And until we see you again, you guys just keep on keeping on. God bless.